Okay. Hi, I'm Kit from Minor Conflict, and this is Thursday Drinks, where we sit around and talk shit about the game that we love. If you're watching it, feel free to listen to it. There's a podcast up on Stitcher and Apple and Google and everything else. And if you're listening to it, jump over to YouTube, and you can watch along with us.
Right.
We have James.
Hello.
And Ellen.
Hey.
And Henry.
What's up?
Let's talk about some 40K.
Cheers.
Oh,
Cheers.
James. Okay. That was my third one.
I can't open this.
You can't, it's a twist up, isn't it?
And yeah.
Oh Never fear.
whilst that is happening,
Thanks.
That's all right.
GW are making changes basically to make the game smaller overall.
Faster,
Faster,
better, smaller,
Faster is a better way of saying it than smaller, but it's basically both things. So they're increasing points across the board, like all units are having a points increase. So
Which I think they'll need if the table's getting smaller, right?
yes, which is the other thing. So you're losing a foot off the long end and 4 inches off the short end.
That's I don't know. Fuck, whatever.
I mean, that's a turn of movement, right? That's 6 inches. So.
Yeah, I mean,
That's first 10 charges.
that's the recommended minimum size, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. They
You
say
don't have to do
I think 4
stories.
inches is fine.
More than adequate. It's the foot I'm worried about.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
As an elder player, because I like to run away from things and skirt around.
Yeah.
That's gonna be way harder to do now.
Yeah, so as a corn player, it's like, yay, but as a tower player, it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So, I mean, first turn charges are going to be back.
be easier.
Definitely.
Well, no, because from the looks of things, the starting distance is still the same. So your deployment zone is just smaller.
Which is going to be harder.
What about the big?
Officially
What
for
about the
100
big? Yeah,
guard.
like 100 guard. Like imagine having like
90
recruits
orc
thrown in
boys.
there. Yeah,
You're probably
yeah.
not going to have 100 guards anymore.
Well, yeah.
Unless you only have 100 guards now, because each guardsman is going to cost more than it did before.
Well, I'm really angry about this then. I don't like this addition
The
already.
price of life is a lot higher for you now.
because what was it? The cultists like jumped back up to 6 or something.
6 from
Yeah.
4, which is a 33% increase. And the intercessors is from 17 to 20 points,
Yeah.
which is only a 15% point increase.
That's 100 points for a 5-man squad of boys.
It is. It is.
It's a lot.
Not guard.
Yeah, I know, but when's that? Well, I guess I'm just like pretty nervous. I'm like, when's that going to happen for guard? Like, when can I count
Well,
and see how many?
I guess if the cultists and the guard were considered relatively similar.
Well, cultists were 4 points, guard of 5 points. So
Cultists are just guard without the orders.
I can imagine
Yeah.
guard would be 7 points a model.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
With
7
bits.
points.
But yeah, screening's going to be harder.
With a smaller board.
Yeah.
Because
Because
you have less-
smaller deployment zone.
Smaller
so there's
deployment
less
zone.
gap between
And less dudes because
units.
Yeah,
you
less
have less
dudes,
dudes
more
as well.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
I'm worried that by quicker they mean we're going to know who's going to win by turn 1. When they say the game's getting faster.
You already
Yeah.
know that in most
Things
competition,
like-
Yeah.
most games, so
You get to like turn 2 or 3 before you kind of
No,
really
it depends
know
on the
what's
army.
happening,
Like
right?
from a Harlequin army, I can look across the board and say, I'm going to lose, or I'm
Yeah.
going to win. It's a given before I even roll a dice. I know what's going to happen. But it's
I think it's going to be hard to get rid of that factor though, because that's always kind of been
It's a
like
turn-based
if you
game,
have
yeah.
like a CP army. You just, and you come across an army that's like, I'm fluffy and love a story. These guys are from Canada. Just get obliterated.
Canada
That's
fell
all-
before the guard.
Well, that's all about social contract, right? And people like knowing what you're walking into.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you say social contract. Social contract doesn't exist at tournaments.
no tournaments.
Well, no,
but
no.
it's the contract you
And
don't
most,
get.
and most of the time, social contract doesn't even exist when you go to the club because it's just people just take whatever list they feel like taking, and half the time they want to try out the cheesiest list for the tournament.
We're talking about dance clubs?
I don't know. Whenever I guess that's different. But I mean, if you're taking a fluffy list to a tournament, you've got to expect to get
Stomped.
destroyed.
Yeah. But an interesting thing is a lot of the large tournaments none of us have ever been to, probably ever will go to, are adopting the smaller size battle mats. Well, not battle
Yes,
mats.
it's
but-
because they can fit more entrants in.
Yeah, they
More
get
entrants
people
means
in.
more moolah.
Yeah,
It's a battle map.
Plus quicker games. That means they get more games in a day. It's just
Quicker games.
quicker games or kill your games. Yeah.
I mean, that will be great for tourneys, though, right? Because then you get to play
Oh,
against.
they'll be stoked.
You know, bit of tinfoil hat. GW's
More
gonna
room
be
on the side. to put- yeah.
GW's gonna be releasing their new miniatures.
Well, no, because if you get 2 of the kill team
Killzone.
boards,
Yeah.
it's
So then now
Oh yeah,
yeah.
everything's
Yeah,
shifted
that's
to
5 by
match the
4.
size of this product
because they already
released,
make
yeah.
them.
But they specifically said it's only a minimum thing. But that's what
If
it
the
is.
tournaments are doing it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And it's going to become standard.
standard.
It will be
Yeah,
standard.
well, A, if the tournament's doing it, and B, if it's a proper like Citadel GW sponsored tournament, then they'll all be on those boards.
I've just thought of something as well.
Shit.
Oh,
Yeah, buckle up. Okay,
hold on.
Primus Marinesi, now they're bigger,
They
Yeah.
are bigger.
but the thing's getting smaller.
Yeah.
Suddenly, all those little dwarf space marines are going to be in play now, and you can feel more of them and you can scream on
The base sides are the same, though. Same
Yeah.
bases.
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to update them.
good
Not
thought,
everyone
though.
does.
I thought that was great. Like,
Well,
that's
no,
great
you're on
content.
point.
That's at least
Good
one
content.
like.
No, it's good content, man. Yeah.
Best content.
2 more views. I'm going to watch it.
But
twice.
yeah,
I'm very excited as Dark Angel player, though.
because everything's going to be closer to you.
Well, because my traits are range advantages, all. So suddenly I'm rapid firing turn 1, which is
I mean, is it really
It's
bad for
pretty good.
anyone? Really? I mean,
Not really.
Closer combat armies, you're closer. I mean, there's some armies that want to shoot from afar and
Yeah.
skirt away.
but also your long range weapons now are the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
like
easy.
Most
For
ones
sure.
are going to be in the board.
Your Tau Boys, for example, they'll
Rapid
be within rapid fire range sooner, a
Yeah.
lot sooner. Because
You check the ball
Our
control on
blasters are going to be back in a big way because
Yeah.
18 inches is like half the board now.
Yeah, pretty much in the most directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that part. We're going to move on
We're gonna move on now.
a couple more of the previews that they released. James?
Yeah, the command point values for the board size, like the army sizes. So it's going to be interesting looking at it. Just going off the list, you got 4 different sizes. You got the combat patrol, which is 500 point, incursion 501
Yeah.
to 1,000, strike force 1,000 to 2,000, and then onslaught, which is 2,000 to 3,000. And each of those obviously give you a different command point.
And they're not as many
Base
as we
level.
thought.
No,
they were gonna be.
considerably less. Considering we were saying, a point per 100,
Yeah.
2,000 point list will
Okay.
be.
And we've got to pay
Ooh.
for our detachments.
Let me just...
No,
Because there's
that's
something
bad.
that's coming up later. Can you just bring that one up?
Well, you get a free command point. You regenerate a command point if you're running a Battleforge. So that's 1 command point per battle. Because you've listed as Battleforge, you
Yeah.
get 1 command point
Yeah.
at that command phase.
Yeah.
So-
and you can imagine Gilliman being like, hey, replace your 1 command point with
2.
D3 command
Exactly.
points.
And so I said there was about 1 command point per 100 points. So you start off with 12, and you're going to regenerate about 5 throughout a game. That works out to be about 17. That's close. You're going to have 17 command points through a game.
Yeah.
Without knowing any of these other bonuses that might
But
regenerate.
the thing is,
CP.
it really depends on how much the points are going to change on the things. What would used to be the average size of 2,000 points is probably going to be 3,000 points now.
No, the average game is going to be 2,000 points.
No, that's what I'm saying. What we have now is a 2,000 point list.
Yeah.
Once all the point increases come in,
Oh, yeah. No.
1850-ish, yeah.
you're going to be going up.
That's
Well,
just it.
So if we're only going off by the cultists and the space marines, that's a maximum of 33% and a minimum of 15%. So
Good math.
our 1750 point lists are going to
Yeah.
be about 2,000 points. Which means you don't really have to change anything because that's kind of what we played anyways.
What about CP expenditure, outgoing payments? Will they come up in price as well? Like,
No.
or
No,
is like
I think what
I
you'll
think they're
find.
pretty
the
well-
stratagems?
Well,
are
I
still
think
gonna
what
be
you'll
the
find going
same.
forward, because they give you that fixed amount of command points,
Yeah.
stratagem's going to cost least.
Yeah.
Because you're paying
Yeah.
for your
They all tend
detachments.
to
So,
be
for
1 or
example, the only one they've shown so far is a battalion, which is your troop-based detachment. Your 3 minimum troops,
Yeah, I guess. I
2
want to talk about
HQs, and that would cost you 3 command points to pick that. But if it's your warlord, it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that means
We're
if you were to
assuming
run,
the same
if you were
for
to
a
run
brigade?
brigade would be more 6
No, Brigade's 5, isn't it?
or whatever. Yeah.
Or whatever it is, but then is it free if your warlord's part
Yes,
of the
it is.
detachment?
Yes.
If-
So whatever your core detachment
Yeah.
is will be free.
Or is it just 3 command points less?
What?
No.
It'll just be.
Wait,
what,
but the-
I reckon it'll be the core one that you run, the one that your
Because
army's
you get
based
plus 3
around.
command points for your warlord being in that detachment.
It
So
co-
if it's a
Yeah,
brigade,
but
do
that's
you get
spec-
plus 3 or do you
that's
get plus
specifically
5? Or do-
that's specifically because battalion costs 3 to use.
No, so now, so in the new edition,
No, I get what you're saying.
yeah, so they're costing CP to bring the different detachments in.
Yeah. No, I know, but I'm just wondering if your warlord is like a static price
No.
or if it's like
No,
whatever the
it'll be
detachment
whatever
is.
that. I reckon it will be whatever that core.
Because I
core
can
one is
totally
will be
imagine
free.
like you can bring like your brigade,
Yeah.
the big one,
Yeah.
and it's still costing you 2 CP to bring a brigade because it is so much more easy to
I
fit stuff in.
I think how this is going to work is it's reducing that kind of soup. So your core detachment will be all one army. So that's your warlords. That's your core warlords army.
And you can fit everything in a battalion.
They
anyway.
specifically said if your warlord is in that detachment's free. So if you can,
Oh, did they actually say free?
They said that. So if you can bring a brigade,
Yeah.
that I think what the idea is, if you could actually squeeze everything into something like one big detachment, that's actually more ideal than bringing lots of little detachments.
And the 6 trips is like, it's not a problem. Like, who's bringing more than?
And the thing is now that those lists that used to run the double battalions to get the however many command points you're getting from a double battalion don't have to do that.
You don't need to do it. You just bring
You're
one.
getting the set amount of command points.
But now it becomes a problem for things like custodes again and stuff.
You think?
Because their troops are not good. They don't bring their troops. They
No.
bring jet
Well, then
bikes.
Yeah,
Sounds
but then
like-
so it's going to cost them more CP to bring only heavy
Jetbacks.
support ones or
Yeah.
fast attack ones. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see what
yeah.
you
Yeah.
I just hope that like
Yeah.
factions that use stratagems lots because that's their jam. That's their bread and butter. It's
Yeah.
still cheap.
Are you still
No,
getting?
to
Yeah,
go
we're still
out.
rolling to get them back.
I want
Is that
fire in
still
my
a thing?
position to be cheaper.
We don't know.
I want fire in my
So hope
position
so.
to be cheaper.
Fire in my
That's what I
position
want.
is a
That's a waste. That's a waste of
Yeah.
free command
Yeah.
points.
It is,
Yeah,
but maybe
it's terrible.
because you get so many more command points, you can waste it more.
Yeah, surely out of
maybe.
your
Do you
out of
get
your
so many
20
more command points at
subscribers,
2,000 points?
one of
Well, for a
them
guard player,
gave
probably
a
not.
shot.
Guard players probably
It's not.
Make
It's
it
definitely-
cheaper.
I can totally
Make fire in my position cheaper,
Um,
please, for $1
What
a
else?
day.
Dedicated transports are attached to your troops choices again, which is
No,
how it
it's,
used to be, right?
it's, I don't. Well, many editions ago, I think.
7th edition
In
they were
7th it was the
attached.
same.
7th
They were
edition.
attached. 8th they weren't.
8th edition, they were attached
Yeah.
to anything. If you brought
just-
something,
It was just
you could bring.
You could just chuck.
Yeah.
Ogres.
I mean, really, with 3 fast attack, 3 heavy, 2 flyers, and 6 elites, and what 3 HQs? I guess the HQs is the only limiting thing, right? Because sometimes you do one more than 3.
Yeah.
But everything else, I mean,
You
that's
fit into that.
I mean, that's a pretty. And because
It's
everything's
broad
more
as hell.
expensive, that's pretty.
yeah. That's
As
I mean,
a Sisters Army, that's good. Eldar, that's easy. Harlequins, yeah.
and if you want to bring 12 troops, you're being gamey and you're going to have to pay command points to do that.
Exactly.
So it's fine.
with the whole dedicated transport thing.
Yep.
Are they going to be really specific in it? Are they going to say like, look, you can only
Locked to that
house
unit.
Yeah, you can only house like Cadian soldiers in that,
Yes,
like
yeah,
regular
yeah.
troops.
No.
Because so I can't do the whole
Was
thing
that-
of
how was
storing
that
Fulgrins
Well, you have to
in a
just
Chimera and then
make
drive
you
up
have to
and
make a
get them out.
distinction between the fact that it says the dedicated transports are attached to infantry units, not troops. Infantry. Anything with an infantry
Yeah.
keyword.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it could
Well,
be
what is it?
Access
What's it?
to-
I've got it. I can tell you. What
Think
does it
about
say?
it.
Can include 1 for each infantry unit taken. Yeah, so it doesn't actually say troops choice, it just says infantry.
But they would be
Yes.
locked to.
I know, it does say.
That, so it'll be locked to that unit for a game,
day.
definitely.
Yeah.
That's a given.
You're not buying it for a specific troop, but any Cadians could get into it.
Yeah.
Infantry.
Same
Yeah.
as...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just means you have to have at least one infantry team to have one transport. You can't
Yeah,
have
it needs to be
transports just to
dedicated. Yeah.
use as chat.
This hurts.
Yeah.
The only list I actually could think this hurts is the Wave Serpent Span. Because, yeah.
You could have fucking.
I only own 3, so good. It doesn't
I
matter.
only own 3. You fucking eviscerated my army and with 1. So like.
Touche.
yeah.
That's why I got 3. So.
Yeah, that's why I got 3. So I can eviscerate you.
3 times over.
Twerk clap.
But what will be interesting though is going forward, because obviously we've got such a set in the amount of command points we've got, 12 or whatever. It's a capped amount. These new universal stratagems are going to be coming out. So I'm presuming they're all going to be cheap, relatively 1 or 2 command points, because you're already paying so many command points
Depends
just
how
to
good
build
they
your.
are.
Yeah.
You're already paying so many command points to build your list. Arguably.
I mean, I can still see Vic being 4.
Yes, that should never change.
yeah.
I don't know what that is.
See what? Which one?
You said it here
Which
first.
one's that one?
The one where you cancel somebody else's stratagem.
Ah.
And the G-Star cult gets one as well. Once per
Yeah.
game, you can roll a dice, and on
2 plus, you
you
cancel their stratagem.
on
You cancel their stratagem and they still pay the command points for it.
What an asshole!
Well,
Yeah, he
has
is
it.
he's not cool.
He's not
a
cool.
very nice guy.
No.
But the only universal stratagem they've shown so far is cut them down, which is
Yeah.
a close combat specific one. And it's basically when an enemy unit falls back, before any of the units in that, any models in that unit have moved,
That's
you
right,
get to
yeah.
use the stratagem,
And
and then roll a d6, and for each model in that, well, it says in your army, so I guess it could even be conjecting models around it, not specifically
Yeah, it's
one
not just
squad.
that
So
troop,
it's
yeah.
Yeah.
basically it's targeting the running unit,
Yeah.
and any of
Not
your models
units
that are around
in
it.
yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
you get to
cool.
roll a d6, and then for every 6, they suffer a mortal wound.
Yeah, that's
Which, in like a mob of boys, is like 4 mortal wounds, right?
I think
Yeah.
they specifically use a term that we don't use before.
Engagement
yeah, so
range.
engagement range.
Engagement range.
Yeah.
Whether
That's
that's
an
just the
inch.
inch within an inch,
Ooh.
or is it the
Yeah.
inch within an inch, or is it 3 inches? I mean,
Time to
But
bring up
that's-
my...
because in Sigma it depends your weapons.
If you have a spear, you got
You have a
Don't bring
spear, you have
Sigma
a
up.
3-inch engagement range instead of a 1-inch engagement range.
I don't. Well, I mean, Sigmar's basically the test bed for all the 40k
And,
rules so
yeah,
far.
yeah, so maybe.
But I don't see them bringing in range.
that.
No,
I don't
I
see
like
them
that
bringing in
idea.
ranges from illegal.
I do, because
Moving trains?
they talked about things like Wraith Knights and Carnifexes being able to fight upstairs, and now if you have a Carnifex
longer
can
range,
hit 3 inches
jabby
up,
weapon.
you can now reach upstairs. And now that screen...
Bring back power lances!
Yeah.
Oh, they were so
You
good.
did, you did Rough Riders for that, mate.
Yeah, sweet.
Rest in
Because
peace,
we
Rough
mentioned
Riders.
that in the last episode before with the whole shooting back at the infantry unit.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
I feel as though this is an echo, but it's just the whole thing of like, shouldn't like that should be used more, because it's kind of like the whole thing of, oh, I hope you don't shoot me in the back when I'm running my turning my back at you.
So this is when this would come into play, yeah.
This
Yeah.
is specifically
More so.
good for hordes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically good for
Well,
hordes.
not necessarily, because it's multiple units, right?
but-
So if you've got a bunch of dudes
So they're nerfing hordes.
Can you imagine? Okay, so...
in a night,
No.
and especially
It
at night,
works
because
in
it's
the
more
favour of
wounds.
hordes.
Yeah.
Because hordes will have
But
But
more,
what happens
more
if
models will be in
you
contact.
are an
So-
Imperial Knight and
Yes.
someone's falling back from you? This stratagem is useless because you only get to roll 1 dice.
If you're an Imperial Knight,
And someone's
yeah,
running...
well, you've already killed half of them anyway, so what do you care?
I don't know, for me, the thing about this, the more elite the army, the worse the stratagem is.
This
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
This also works if, let's say, you were to bubble wrap, to wrap a Lehman Russ, and the Lehman Russ was to fall back.
Yes.
Doesn't
Yeah.
specify what kind of unit.
Oh,
No,
shit.
no, exactly.
So suddenly
Yeah.
your
That's why
your
it's
little
mortal
gribblies
wounds. It's
are
so
mortal
good.
wounding.
Yes,
Yeah.
so if you said you had 60 conscripts wrapped around one Imperial Knight and decided to step back, you put this and it will drop dead.
Yeah,
I
you'll do
like
what?
a reach
yeah,
around.
that's 6 mortal wounds, right? 60 guys is 6 mortal wounds.
60 guys would be 10 on
long as
average.
you-
Yeah, 10 more. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes. 10 more wins.
So which now thinking about it,
Right.
now thinking about it, moving it to a 6 on a d6 kind of makes a bit more sense. I thought it was. I don't like rolling on a d6 and only having to get 6 because my rolling is always poor. But with what you're saying,
Luck of the Irish.
It makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, statistically, I think it's pretty good. And you can imagine if that, like,
Statistically.
if that dude, that character's falling back and he's
Yeah.
got like 2 wounds left and you've got a squad of like 5 guys
Yeah.
for 1 command point,
If
for
you
like a chance to like murder, like every day.
If it was a duel and he was going to run away on 1 wound, I would try.
I would go for that 6 every time.
I'm just trying to put
Because
it
I can
into a
reroll
real.
as well, so
Yeah.
went from a 1 in a 6 chance
We're assuming there's still a reroll.
to... Yeah, true.
I'm just trying to put it into a real perspective again of just saying like Auckland's Sky Tower sized Imperial Knight. Not that we live near Auckland or anything, but like something of that size.
Yeah.
And there's like 100 of all of us, and we're all just like, look at each other. What do you reckon? Yeah, I reckon we can fuck it up.
So ignoring its armor and everything. Yeah,
Like,
Just wait for it to turn its back.
Yeah,
Then
I don't
what
know.
happens?
If I saw something like that turning its
but
back
just
to me,
quietly, this could make Tau quite effective in combat.
oh James, watch out!
Yeah, except who actually runs away from the tower in combat?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. It's the tower doing the running away.
Yeah,
So.
fickle.
But what I'm just thinking
I need a
is,
commissar.
is you're going to see stuff like this go into character rules, I reckon. So you can have character duelists who are like renowned in the lore for being good fighters.
So they have a thing.
Now, when an enemy falls back on a d6 on a 2+, you do a mortal wound or something.
That'd be cool. But
I can imagine it.
On a 2+, Creed smokes his cigar and enhances his thought capabilities. And adds to
Yes, that book looks like a great place for a Bane blade.
Can we talk about my favourite thing in the world? Or
Yes.
what I'm hoping will be my favourite thing in the world.
Yes.
The app, which is coming out on the day the box is released.
I mean, this is
Will
the
have
third episode. We're about the third
current
time.
points and everything in it.
when is it out? When's the box due out then?
I don't know.
Oh, which is just...
But when it comes out.
When it comes
I think
out.
it's actually quite soon because I'm on the mailing list or whatever and they're talking about release. releasing
another one. I
it.
thought yours was empty. It's
I
not.
got
I'm
most
sorry.
of that on me.
I'm really
Okay.
sorry. I thought yours was empty.
The app.
I'll drink
I'll
this
park
one.
it.
I can't be more excited. I am for the app, but we'll just,
I think it's going to be great.
Updated points, values, and everything straight off the bat, ready to go.
If it goes
can
the
play
way we
that
think
day.
it's going to go.
if they do it well,
Yeah.
they have a
If they
chance
do
to
well.
really
I
do
think they
something
will.
good.
I
James
think
is
they
doing
will.
his head tilt, so I'm the same as him. It's like if it goes well. That's totally the thing that I would
Thing
do.
is,
If it goes well.
GW, doing stuff that involves money. I mean, again, I generally go for the thing that gets
Hey,
the most
you're not
money.
alien.
I'm resigned to the fact that we're going to have to pay a little bit for it.
Yes,
I'm expecting
yeah.
to.
and we're gonna have to pay a little bit more from where we are.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be some country tax on that.
Southern Hemisphere GW tax.
Oh my god.
We live in Antarctica. So.
They can't justify that, surely. Yes, your digital contract, your digital
It's actually just because of the currency conversion.
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
It's not us. It's not us. It's just the way
The
that
digital
math
codex
works out.
costs more here than they do anywhere else in the world.
So screw you. We're the first to recover from COVID. Like, like we should get
Give us
some bonuses.
something.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We're buying your product.
Why?
Yeah, that's why though.
We defeated Nurgle. It's
Yeah.
That's why we've moved from Nottingham to Otago in the North
Johnny did.
in the North Island. They don't know where it is. But like,
okay. They got new match play rules.
yeah, but
Yeah.
April
You wanna talk about
Younger.
No.
No,
No, I haven't seen them.
you haven't seen it. All
Oh,
right.
was that
This week.
the-
I'm real behind this week.
Okay,
Sorry.
GW released a whole bunch of. They're gonna be releasing mission packs, and the mission packs are locked specifically to the game sizes that are out. So and Strike Force, which is I think is it
Yeah,
called
they
Strike
released
Force?
one for the 500 point game, right?
It is called Strike Force. My God, Strike Force sounds like laser tag in the
Yeah, it's
90s.
pretty bad.
That one has the most missions. It has 6 missions.
Don't.
So it is the go-to size that GW is aiming for.
Which I get. I mean, because
Yeah.
that's the entry point of the game, so they want to make sure that
Yeah.
it's solid, right? To get your
Yeah.
players in.
Funny thing is, apparently,
Delicious and supports.
I don't know how this is going to work. I read this on a Q&A. The rule of 3, that rule, where you limits how many units you can take per your
The
army,
most sensible and widely appreciated rule in the game.
Exactly.
Depending on who you're talking about.
apparently is going to be locked to the missions. So some missions will allow you to take more of the same units than other missions.
God knows how that's going to work.
I don't. That would how is that going to work in a tournament?
It's not going to. Nah, that's not.
It won't-
That
it
surely
won't.
won't be a tournament
won't.
rule. It won't
So,
be a tournament.
I'm
No, no
skeptical
way.
about
No
that bit of information,
Although, oh no, nah, that won't. Okay.
Although it's
So
up to
the
them.
whole, so the conquest system, which by the way, I want to talk about that in a minute because that's like the most disappointing thing in the world.
but no, really.
Conquest
Yeah,
or
I'm kinda upset
Crusade?
about it. Crusade, sorry.
Oh no! Really?
Yeah, it's kind of garbage. But what they've said is, well, no, that's not true. But just the balancing thing that they're doing for it. So what they said is for conquest, your army will be larger than the game you're playing. So if you're playing someone at conquest, you'll bring 1,000 points.
Yeah.
They'll bring 1,000 points, and then you'll see what each other has, and you'll play a 500 point game.
Oh, so it's kind of like Kill Team.
So you can kind of, so you have your roster, which is
Yeah.
not necessarily everything you play with on the board. And I'm wondering if at tournaments you bring 2,000 points, you bring 205,000?
But Conquest is not for tournaments, though.
No. But I'm just wondering
Yeah.
if it's like, that's why I said like this.
Oh,
is
okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But I do think that's really interesting. It would be really fun.
But again, like how is that balanced? I look at your army and I go, okay, you've got an awful lot of tanks.
Well, this is that's the thing. You can fake people out.
Yeah.
And then they just bring all their troops and don't bring their tanks.
Well, I don't know. It's like if you saw me, if like you were coming up against my Harlequins, you wouldn't bring your tanks. You would not bring your tanks because I would bring my bikes.
Yeah.
But pretty much every Harlequin.
And then you don't bring your bikes, and I'm like, ooh!
And then I'm dead because I don't have my
Yeah.
bikes.
But pretty much all tournaments require you to submit your list prior.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you just submit your
Including
2,500.
Yeah, but this-
warlord traits.
I mean,
and
this
your
is not
psychic
going to
powers.
happen.
This
This
is-
is not in
this-
the realm
That
of like.
used to happen
livability.
in sorry to bring it up, but that used to happen in Panzermarsch.
Don't bring it up.
We would have X amount of thousands of points.
Yeah.
I
but
got
would
the
only
moving
use
stick.
yeah, and we got the
And then you
moving
pick and
stick.
choose your units.
And you pick and choose, being like, oh,
I,
well,
I think that'd be a
there's
very
a-
interesting
yeah.
tournament. Maybe this is something.
awful lot of
we should do.
tigers there.
We should do that. We should run like a small
I've wanted to run a tournament for a
sized
while.
tournament where you bring like a larger army than your actual force is.
Yeah.
And then without talking to each other, you have to try and pick what you're going to take against each other.
You just
Ooh.
know what the army is you're up
Yeah.
against.
You know what the full list is, but that's not the list.
If
that
they
you're
have
gonna
blue
take.
eyes, white dragon, though, you know they're gonna use that.
Another thing is the missions will have primary objectives. Nothing that we're estranged to. But secondaries, you get to choose the secondary missions, and you have universal secondary missions that come with the missions, so you get to choose from them. And then there's going to be some in the new codexes.
And they've given us some examples, which I haven't seen yet. So I'm excited to hear.
I can't remember what the examples are.
There was one that was like about holding secondaries, about holding points or something like that.
There was one the troops could. The interesting thing was they could
bring in
either not
actions.
charge or they could not shoot, so they could do one but not the other. Which is
Well, you're saying you're talking about
to
actions.
activate like a thing, right?
Yeah. So they're bringing in actions. So it might be hoist the banner, hack a console, siphon power.
This is with Crusades?
No, this is match
new
play.
missions.
And
So you can.
So your unit of guard can not shoot and like
raise the
hack a
banner
fucking
or
Yeah.
raise the flag.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
fluffiness like
yeah.
that. That's
or
cool.
they can shoot, raise the flag, and then not charge.
Could it also be a realistic
Or
and
just not do
say
anything for a turn.
Yeah, you have to do nothing for a turn. So you can't move, you can't shoot, you can't do your second.
that's incredible. That's quite cool. That is really cool.
Yeah, I love it.
Well done, Games Workshop. But just make
There's some concern
primary
about
position lower.
secondaries being locked to codexes. Is because can you imagine somebody gets a really baller secondary, like it's something super piss easy to do for their army, and no one else has access to it because it's like a Space Marine.
What about something really easy?
Oh, so what? Like Codex
Codex specific.
secondaries.
And it'd be like
okay,
Codex creep
yeah.
for point gathering objectives. So like the Marine might be like, don't fail morale test.
Or
Get a victory point.
For Imperial Guard, it's fail your recruits.
Reanimate
Fail morale
something.
test.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shit like
Which
that.
then is like, that's so slanted.
Yeah, surely not, right?
That's
They
kind
can't,
Well, no, they are doing it, but we
Oh,
don't.
they actually. This is what they said.
There will be secondaries and codexes, but we don't know what they are.
I hope they're hard.
Shoot something.
I hope they make them
again,
hard.
though,
I hope they're shit, so you just go for the general ones, and the secondaries and the codexes are just like fluffy and shit.
again though, that is kind of cool because I mean it's like the whole thing of like you
I
lose
get
the
it.
whole game, but it's like but it did something though, you know, like
Yeah, I love that.
you know, my secondary objective was to get eviscerated, and I did.
Everyone's a
First
winner,
turn.
baby.
Yeah. So,
That's
but I love that because especially if you've got a bad matchup, you're like, well, fuck this. I'm
Make
gonna try and kill
them
that warlord,
deal
and that's
with
my goal.
such a-
So, can you imagine like the ones where you require to do an
narrative.
action? You have to like raise a banner in the center of the field. How narrative that feels now.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That
That's
is
awesome.
that is
Well,
actually
it's,
really
it's
cool.
like summon,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
summon.
And actually-
like the whole purpose of your army is the cover. There's one dude who's trying to fucking summon the Edenbringer. Like
Get this boy to the
but-
center of the board. Like, get your warlord to the center of the board.
Another thing that's quite cool with that is
Summoning things.
tournaguisers.
Yeah.
So tournament organisers.
Tournaguisers.
Tournaguisers.
There you go.
You can use it. Copyright Henry Kane. No.
The popular
Um,
one.
yeah, that's steady on. But notice how soft on my surname, so I'll pick it.
I do sign
But
photos.
it's up to Tournaguisers though, because like again, if they made.
I love Tournaguisers.
It is cool. Now I've only been a witness. I don't want to, but I've only been a witness to tournaments because like playing competitively
you've
just
been
isn't my
away.
thing. I just
You've been
put my
away, yeah.
pants down. I just know I'll get sputtered because I play far too like fluffily.
You're in the game, aren't you?
But yeah. I'm in the game. But with the organisers, if they were like, you know what, raising the banner, that's dope. That deserves like a bit more, a bit more like uppage.
Well, yeah,
You
it's
know,
always been
yeah.
secondaries give you a chance to score points when you're
Yeah.
unfavorable
Yeah.
on an objective, right? That's always been the idea behind the secondary scores on
And I
ITC.
think,
and
I
stuff.
think that's really cool. I do think that caters quite well for community-based games.
Narrative,
Yeah.
more
Narrative
fluffy.
and
You
stuff.
feel like you're
Yeah.
playing.
Well, no, that was
The
the
thing
thing. Like,
is
in the
that-
ITC, right? It
Yeah.
was the idea was like if you just had a bad matchup,
Yeah.
you could still get points and get
Yeah.
yourself on the table, even
Exactly.
if it was like you were,
There's-
under strength or whatever.
There's like one of my main concerns. Apparently, some of the objectives, some mission things, you have to keep notes of things that happen throughout the game, and you score it at the end,
Which is in the app.
which is in the app.
They've confirmed there's
yeah,
going to
it's
be
in the
game
app.
tracking and stuff in the app.
That
For just $40
kinda
a
makes it
day.
better because
But
the
then
you're gonna be
still
using it anyway.
it still requires you to have to keep track of stuff.
how many fuck knuckles are going to have their phone run out in halfway through a
Oh
tournament?
god.
Yeah. Oh no, my battery died.
Oh.
Yeah.
You've finished work for the day and you've got all your stuff in
Yeah,
the car and
exactly.
you go to the
Yeah.
club to play a game and you can, my battery's dead.
Can you imagine that
Bring
person?
your, just bring your
The slow play. Hold on, it's not loading. Hold
Bring
on.
your what?
Hold on. You got
Bring
the
your- bring your bloody
Can you
charger
hotspot
to
me?
it.
Okay, so all the clubs have to now have multi-boards and
Yes.
refit the whole building.
Yeah.
The Warhammer players are coming, guys.
Maybe they might make designated terrain with charging ports.
No, wait. Yeah.
And your secondary. My secondary.
Slots nicely into this
My
bunker here.
My secondary objective is to take your iPhone.
Actually, you're probably not far
For
off.
the hacking one, right? So you gotta have.
If we
the thing
don't
you put your
start,
phone in.
if we don't start getting Warhammer branded fucking additional batteries and docking stations,
This-
I won't
oh
be
my
surprised.
God,
A 4K docking station for your phone.
This is making me wet.
I'm so on board.
Is that a sky shield? Nah, it's my phone docking station.
I can just picture like, I don't know, some giant statue of the Emperor being like, oh, Emperor's hand.
You need
Charging
something.
ports be like,
I bring you
But-
Spotify.
The shield or the book isn't actually like there. It's just you put your phone there.
Yeah.
It needs a speaker with the tiniest noise possible.
Oh yeah, it's gonna sound like a little box speaker. Right?
Yeah, like,
your Pornhub subscription has
yeah.
never protect me.
But
It's
anyways,
got a text to voice thing function.
anyways,
Where are you? Why aren't you home?
anyways, continuing. One more thing about the missions is the deployment is actually locked to the missions, so you're no longer rolling for them.
Which is an interesting.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Nah, I don't like
I
it.
hate rolling for them.
Oh, really? I think rolling for them's great.
See,
Because all you're doing is taking away.
You always get the shit
all
ones
you,
you don't
yeah, but
want.
all you're doing is taking away the chance of getting a shit one by rolling for it to make it be like, well, we're not going to play that.
Well, the
mission.
idea is if they're
We don't get played that
if they're
mission.
locked to missions, there won't.
Did you
be
not play
shit
the
ones.
mission?
no, you
Because
could,
they'll be designed for the mission, right? So
they could still be shit for you. It's like, can you imagine, like, okay,
Yeah.
the only way I'm going to beat the
Suddenly
army
your secondary
is if I get in
objective's,
close
like,
combat real
awfully
fast.
glazed,
And then
yeah.
the mission is, you know, I can't remember which one.
Silver
From
medal
short
looks
edge to short
good,
edge.
doesn't
Yeah.
it not?
So you just know, and there's no chance for you to change that.
That's why you have secrets.
Yeah, that's what I just, silver medal looks awfully good. Would you like second? It's known as the first loser.
I mean, it's
You say that's why you have secondary. So basically, we join this mission. It comes with this deployment. Well, fuck it. Might as well. I'm only going to. I can only
But
go
this
for
is-
secondaries. Well, that's a shit game. All right, thanks, mate. Good times. See you
Well,
later.
I don't know. I think it's okay overall because one thing, it's going to be a lot quicker to set up because you know exactly what you're doing. You don't have to roll for it. Two, or tournament organizers can already design tables for the deployments. Well, because
Because pre-done terrain.
yeah, exactly. So they know exactly where the deployments.
But
are
also,
gonna
if
be.
you know what the missions are going to be, you know what the deployments are going to be, you can build your list to what.
exactly, but yeah,
And again, that's what your flexible army is for as well. When you got 2,000 points.
When you got your
and
2,000 points and you're playing 1,500 point games.
Yeah, and I guess if
We're going to do that tournament.
which one?
We're going to make that tournament, you and me.
Yeah, okay.
We'll run that.
We'll figure something out.
You can be Tornageizers.
We'll be tournament guys.
Tony Geyser,
That'll be fun.
the miniature conflict.
Yeah.
It'll be good. All right. Next thing is
That's a better name.
we're gonna start talking about some of the.
Miniature conflict.
Shit!
I wasn't gonna say anything. I just
No,
did on
that-
camera.
No, my granddad had already commented on that. He already took that. So his canal, he said it was a minute.
I wanted table
Oh,
war.
was it?
Yeah.
I wanted table war, but it was taken.
Bite-sized.
Yeah, bucket size. A bit of fun.
Just an after dessert mint. After conflict.
Plastic heroin is a little bit too hardcore.
Yeah. Plastic
An
cups are a
after
little-
Ferrero Rocher of combat.
An after 8 mint of combat.
Oh my god. Straight minor
jeez.
conflict.
All right.
Like, Ferrero Rocher.
We're gonna move on to some of the Indian war previews.
Oh, I've got that here.
You do have that.
I do.
Talking
it's,
about knights.
it's my role. So, Imperial Knight and Chaos Knights are unremarkable, according to Alan. He's written this.
I don't know.
Imperial
I
Knights
think
are
it's interesting that they gave Chaos Knights one set of rules and Imperial Knights another set of rules, and then in chapter, what's it called? In Psychic Awakening, they were just like, you can have this set. you
Should I
can
do
have this
the-
set."
They're basically the same.
Yeah, they've just evened them out.
Yeah.
Which is kind of.
Is it just
Was that the plan all
semantics?
along?
Is it just semantics?
Yeah, it's
or-
just the same
They're just
thing
like-
by a different name.
Yeah.
Use a stratagem in your shooting phase when a Knight Warden model is in your army is chosen to shoot with. Until the end of your phase, the range of the model's Avenger Gatling cannon is changed to 8 inches, which is a lot, but 4 inches is still doable. And then resolving an attack made with it. Do not make a hit roll. It automatically scores a
Basically,
hit.
Oh, so it's
So
short
this-
range auto hits.
It's just called a flame. It's just a flame.
Yeah,
It's a flamer.
but it's the fucking Gatling cannon.
20.
So-
what,
Well,
20 shots?
No, it's not
No,
20 shots.
12.
12 shots, strength 7 minus.
Holy
Two
damage.
shit.
Yeah.
They have called one of the stratagems Thunderstruck. Are
Yes.
you fucking serious? Brian Johnson right now is fucking. I bet you he plays Warhammer. Brian Johnson would be stoked. You Ben! You
And it's a good one too.
You get a chance at Ben.
Thunderstruck! Every fucking tournament, Brian Johnson comes in.
Sorry, I'm just gonna use a stratagem here, guys. I'm just gonna use
So these are the knight specific ones, right?
Imperial
so
knight.
like yeah. So they're basically every type of knight now has a little thing that it can do
Yes.
that the other ones can't.
Exactly.
Which is
So why do you read us Thunderstruck?
Thunderstruck.
kind of cute.
What is Thunderstruck?
Yes, it's cute.
It is. Use the stratagem in your shooting phase. When a knight paladin model from your army is chosen to shoot with, until the end of the phase, the damage characteristic of that model's rapid fire battle cannon or thunder of
Voltaurus, which is a relic.
is 3.
Flat 3 instead of
Three.
D3.
Instead of
And
D3.
that is disgustingly good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
1 CP.
2d6
I like,
shots, strength
That's
8.
1 CP.
There's also
Yeah.
a
These are all 1 CP.
Meanwhile, I find my
Overwatch one.
positions over here.
Yeah, the Overwatch one.
The Overwatch one is really helpful.
So you're
I
saying
think
this?
suppressors are actually going to be quite useful.
But cover the
Just quietly.
advance.
Yeah, cover the advance. So you hit a unit with your battle cannon and
Oh,
they
yeah.
can't Overwatch.
Yeah.
The stratagem is shooting phase.
So it's a
Which
great
is
way to
great.
soften up the front line if you've got chargy stuff. Yeah.
It is. But I mean,
And that's a charging knight.
And that
a charging knight isn't too worried about Overwatch. I think
Yeah.
this is a really good one if you're bringing a knight as support for
Yeah.
another army. Because there's a lot of armies that don't have ways to negate Overwatch.
Get your
Although-
little Skitarii boys in there and chop them up with your razor blades.
Although there are things I presume a charging knight would be worried about, like maybe another knight. Yeah, They can potentially.
But I mean,
But then suddenly, boom! Hey, you can Overwatch.
I mean, yeah, if you
here I
want to
am.
charge into
Yeah.
like the what's the Land Raider with the melters on the side?
oh,
Yeah, if yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think cover
That one.
Cover the advance.
The aggressors with
The-
their scary, I'm assuming scary, horrendous new
Melter
melter
guns,
guns.
yeah.
Yeah, cover the advance does sound quite unpleasant actually looking at that.
But it's cool.
That's pretty good. Which is the one I haven't called out. Because
you know,
I was
and there's
focusing
enough.
so much.
There's enough like stratagems or bloody
Um,
chapter traits that let them hit on 5s in Overwatch anyway.
Yeah.
So
so I've been out of it, but apparently
I'm always out.
there's
of it.
new stuff for Fabulous Bill.
Fabulous Bill.
Fabulous Bill, yep. So,
So what's Fabulous Bill?
Fabulous Bill is
Fabulous Bill
It's a cool thing.
is a very fabulous gentleman
Okay.
by the
Constellation
name
on
of
the
Billingham.
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 I don't know. He's the Emperor's Children guy. He was apothecary for the Emperor's Children who started like cloning people. He made,
Oh yeah, he's the
He
guy
made
that
clones of
collects
Horus
people,
and
and he
stuff.
sees Creed and he's like, "Fuck it, that'll do."
Yeah.
yeah, and he has like a very specific haircut.
He's the chick from 101 Dalmatians.
It puts the lotion on the skin, or else it gets the bolter again.
So he has 100 Cadian skins on there.
So he's the Corella Deville of.
He's 40k's Corella
Yes,
Deville.
he is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, his stats aren't that great. Movement 6, weapon skill
Yeah, but
2+,
he's-
ballistic skill 3+. Everything else standard: 4, strength 4, toughness 4, wounds 5, attacks 4, leadership 9, 3+ save, and as far as I can tell, no invulnerable save. I mean, he's got some melee weapons, but to be honest, that's not what's important about him. He has a 5-up feel no pain. Again, that's not what's important about him. What's important about him is he gets to buff other units.
And not just the way he used to.
No, not just the way he used to.
You're right.
Yeah.
Not just the way you used to. It's for the whole game, but does it stack?
It doesn't say. It doesn't.
I don't know. If
That's what I read it. That's what I read it. I couldn't see it saying it doesn't stack.
Surely
So it's just like you grab a greater possessed. And you just hold him back for a little couple of turns. Oh, plus 1 strength. Oh, plus 1
some
attack.
toughness.
Oh, plus get out of here, boy.
So this fabulous Bill guy, is he non-discriminant? Can any faction have him?
Yeah, I think he is now,
No,
right?
no, he's
He's his own. Is he still Emperor's
Then why did
Children,
he
or is he
take-
own?
No,
boy?
he's not. He's
Then
been booted
why-
out the Emperor's Children.
Yeah,
and
he's always a chaos.
he's his own. He's
I was
a
going to say
free agent.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
he's
I was
a
going to
free
say, like,
chaos boy.
why did he fucking take Creed when they needed him most?
At some point in the movement phase, you roll a d3, and
Do you know what's going to happen?
on a 1,
Do you know what you're going to get?
What?
You're going to get Primaris Creed.
And he'll be wearing blue. You know, he'll be wearing blue.
so basically, you either buff the strength, the toughness, or the attack characteristics of a unit for the whole game.
But what I like,
whole
what
game.
I like, yes.
And you do it every
Until the end of the battle.
every turn.
Yep. What I do so like, and this is, I'm just going to steal this for a second, is there's a little helpy guy that goes,
Yeah.
His little cretins. Yeah.
if he's still alive, the little boon he gives is that you can either add or minus 1 to your roll. So
it's basically
it means-
And it's a D3 roll.
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
D3 roll, so it lets you go.
So
Wow, that's what I thought. I thought, well, if you got the middle one, you can go anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But no, because it's minus 1 or plus 1 to your roll, so 1 or
So
2.
you can't get a 4 and you can't
Does
get
that mean you can get a
exactly.
7?
Yeah, it's not a rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can either move up or you can move down. You
I
can't.
mean,
move
the
bottom
only
right,
times
so
it's not going to work for you is if you get the extreme bottom or top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a 1 or a 6. It's
Yeah,
kinda
which you
like-
have 33.333%.
Yeah. I
I
mean, that's pretty cool.
it's every turn.
It's every turn, so-
yeah,
I
it's
mean-
strong.
Right, I'm pretty sure, because we haven't
now
seen
I know why
everything.
he got a
that-
book.
He's a big name, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a guy.
He's the Cassius Crawl of Basilius Crawl of the Chaos.
You still haven't got it, but yep.
Bacillium.
Mycelium crawl.
I thought you were going to say.
Maximilium
Basilicus crap.
I thought you were going to say he's the classic.
He's a Benedict Cumberbatch of.
I thought you were going to say he was the classic Clay, and I was like, what? He's going to change his name to Muhammad Ali, and everyone's going to be like, no, you can't change your faith.
I guess. Float like a butterfly and sting like a Primaris.
But the other thing as well, like I think that's cool that they've introduced that character. But another thing as well is that I kind of like having things that you can't feel. There's these things that, like I, for example, can't take the Emperor because he's wheelchair bound. But which is not to say that that's not a good thing. But like he is effectively dead now, isn't he? He's just used for the warp, right?
Pretty much.
But imagine fielding that.
sorry.
It's like a giant
He's a
throne.
lighthouse.
A giant throne with
Yeah,
plugs
yeah.
in them.
I mean, the Silent King's a giant throne with basically, you know.
Well,
I don't know.
It's I don't see it being so far fetched that you're never going to get it in 40K.
But to have a model
it
is-
would be the end times.
I
Yes.
just even with Creed, like
By the way, we're getting just quietly because the end times. I'm sorry.
no, it's fine.
Yeah, shut up, Henry. Kit's got to talk. No, Henry, they like you enough
I have
already.
things to
Let Kit get some popularity. Go for it.
So we've been told we're getting Primarchs by the end of the year.
Primarchs. Oh.
Three Primarchs by the end of the year for Christmas. Yeah.
Well,
3 Primarchs.
which ones aren't dead?
Which ones aren't dead?
Great.
Which
Most
ones?
of them are still alive.
So
Creed
So-
disappeared.
Ferris is dead. Corax is dead.
The Night Lord one's dead.
Yeah. What's?
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, not Corax. I said Corax. I meant Kurz.
So
Yeah.
will the lion finally show up?
So the lion, the wolf,
The wolf?
The witch and the
Lion,
wardrobe.
and then I'm guessing a chaos one as well because they will
Sure.
even 3 on either side, right?
Angron. Angron died. He would be amazing.
What?
my Angron's voice.
What if they bring out that commissar guy, that famous commissar guy for the Imperial Guard? That real famous guy that he's got a book written about him. Everybody
Yarrick.
talks over it.
Stalin.
No,
That's the
not
one.
Yarrick. Not Stalin. Don't bring that up. Yeah, Gaunt.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, no.
Is
yeah.
there already a
Scott,
model of him?
Scorn.
He's not around it. He'd be dead by now, surely.
Well,
That was during that crusade was yonks ago.
Either way, it's the whole thing. As going back to the character thing, when I feel Creed, I don't count him as Creed because it's like, but you're gonna die. You're gonna die, Creed. He's like, yeah, and I'm like, you're gonna die. Like, it's kind of like the
With
whole thing.
Squidward.
Well, yeah, every time you take him, he dies. He will
Yeah,
die.
pretty much.
Yeah.
He's too special, and it's kind of like the whole thing. If you get these cool characters, it's like cool. But I don't know if it's just me.
Yeah,
I
and
feel
Gilliman
like-
dies, and then you're like,
yeah, Gilliman.
no, I
I'm
guess
like,
he's dead. Except he's not. He's
in the
wounded.
lore, he lives on.
He
It's
twisted his ankle, you see.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. I got shin splints. Get me out of here.
like, by the blood of the warp that hurt.
I would love to. I mean, I'd love to see Khan, obviously, because
Khan,
he's
yes.
the best. But I think, Lehman and the Lion and
yeah.
one of the Chaos Boys
the witch in the wardrobe.
to even it out.
You reckon the Lion?
Yes.
Because I know Lehman's still
Because,
kicking
and
down.
not necessarily related, but 30k has just had a huge amount of new Dark Angels units come out.
Yeah. So it makes sense that they want to release the lion.
So what would be the Khan? Khan, but who else? Who's left?
So who we got? We got Magnus, we got Smelly
We've already
Boy.
got Magnus.
Magnus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so who's left? Angron,
Angron.
Fulgrim,
Oh, yeah.
maybe with Bill.
don't know any of
That
these
makes
people.
sense.
Giant Snake Boy.
I'm like,
Snake?
I'm
Yeah,
like,
he's got
Creed.
he's like a snake boy.
So you're more into this.
Oh,
right?
yeah, isn't it?
It's like because
Yeah, well, I got
hotter.
skin in the game, right?
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
fucking monkey, I don't give a fuck. What's up with
I just
your
got bitches with
larger
guns,
than
it's fine.
average humans?
Look at his cum gutter though. It's all ripped.
It's like, oh
Oh, look
my
at his
god.
cum gutter.
What is this?
This is I can't say it.
It is Blanker. And
Goes
it's-
down a treat blank.
And
Oh,
for,
it's vodka and what the fuck am I drinking this for?
and for every one of those packet of those you
No,
buy,
no,
10%
no.
goes to blankety blank.
Yeah, because
helping
10%
the
Oh,
of it
does it
goes
really?
towards.
Yeah, you
Does
helping
it
the
go to,
elephant.
we can say that.
You're a conservationist now, Kit.
Yeah.
That's why it's called part-time.
Oh, that's really
Blanket. Wait,
It's not, why, it's fine. We're not like...
we're not
sponsored.
sponsored,
We're
so
not
we can
we're
find our own
also not making any
sponsorship.
money on this, so we can talk about
Okay,
whatever the fuck we
fine.
want.
This is really
Part-time
nice.
rangers.
Yeah, 10% of
New
each.
Zealand drink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
10%
10% of
goes
each
to-
of that animal.
So,
they got
10%
different
from
flavors.
this
so
goes
it's
to
the elephant.
This goes to an
Yeah.
elephant.
Yeah, we're going to the
Oh,
elephant.
so eventually he'll get like a little iPad or something.
Yeah.
Ah, that's
But
nice.
they
And
also,
you'd be like,
they also
smash.
got the white
That's it.
rhino as well,
The
don't they?
white rhino. So
White
like,
rhino,
Yeah.
African
Yeah.
elephant.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool.
It is
Like,
really cool.
That's awesome.
It is actually a really cool company, like idea.
I think the
That's really cool.
white rhino thing goes towards anti-poaching.
Yeah, well, this one's
Yeah, that's
10% of profits go towards preventing elephant poaching.
Oh, there you go. So, if anybody saw that picture of that really hot chick holding an SR-25
Yes.
marksman rifle, that goes towards her.
The one with the
shooting
ripped
people
arms.
that are poaching the elephants.
Yes.
And in the 40k universe, that's
A silent sister.
Sister Rebel.
Part of the Inquisition. Part of the Inquisition.
Yeah, some sort of Inquisition fella.
Yeah.
Or fellas.
Yes.
No,
Fellas.
not that one. Not that one. No, not that. No.
Yeah. Do you know what I don't like? Poaching.
I don't want 10% of this in me.
Anyway.
Do we want to talk about the AdMac stuff?
I want to talk about Conquest.
Conquest. All right, let's talk about Conquest.
So they
Crusade.
said
Oh, so this is the story.
Crusade. I keep saying
Crusade.
Conquest. What's Conquest? That's that
A tournament that we do in Christchurch.
Conquest.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Not that we live there.
No.
So
When we
Crusade.
travel up from externally Christchurch.
Remember a little while ago when they talked about Conquest being balanced in terms of playing
Crusade-
people
Crusade.
Crusade being balanced against people who were playing non-Crusade?
Yep.
Turns out, no, not really.
No, really? How's that?
Yeah, there's a whole really complicated system where, like, okay, so it turns out my Crusade army has 25 points of Crusade buffs, so now I have to take less points, 25 Crusade points less in my army than what you're. It's the most. Why didn't they just be like, hey, my Chapter Master has gained this ability, he's also gone up 10 points?
Yeah.
I'm confused
Yeah.
about how you explain it.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
to me.
I'm
So
not saying you
basically,
explained
like
it badly, just-
every like when your Chapter Master becomes a better Chapter Master.
Yeah.
He's still the same points. So when you go to play someone who hasn't been doing Crusade and or Conquest,
They get more
their
points.
Chapter Master is like obviously at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
So what happens now is that your army, it's run out of battery. Your army is now like, has access. Your army becomes smaller,
Oh, okay.
so they have access to more like points
So-
in terms of. So every update you get gives the enemy army more points to spend on their army.
So
So
you-
suddenly it's a
Yeah,
2,000
it
point
should
game.
be as simple as congratulations, this guy survived. He gets to pick from one of these traits, and then at the end of the
You
trait
roll the dice,
description, yeah,
plus
but
5 points.
The end of the trait description is just say plus 5 points.
Yeah.
Plus
so
10
it's easy.
points.
So you can always
that's
bring the right
insane.
amount. So you don't have to wait. I'm
really
facing you.
disappointed by it.
It just seems overly.
Why are you
expensive.
disappointed by it?
Because it
Tell
seems
us.
like the most obvious, like
You're
easiest,
amongst friends.
easiest solution, and then they made this huge whole complicated thing, which in the end isn't even going to be that balanced.
Why don't you write them an angry email?
But
It's too late. The books have been printed.
That to me makes sense.
Where does that stop? Half the books
Yeah,
don't.
where does that stop?
The books don't have half the pages most of the time anyway.
Complaining is 90% of the hobby.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, your Mechanicus shooty bots, apparently their guns are worth 0 points. Which ones? Yeah, they misprinted in the new AdMech book that their guns are 0 points. Again,
what was
just,
the word you
just
said?
hire an editor, guys.
Just get a fact checker in there.
Give one
really
of us
good
to
at
read it
editing.
once.
They just didn't.
Kid's self-employed, so he's got the time.
MS Paint.
But yeah, how do they keep getting this stuff wrong? It seems
I don't know. The codex always seem to have these horrendous mistakes.
But the thing is, it
It's
comes
like
down
just-
to
they don't,
when
like,
you don't have
fact-check each
when
other.
you don't have skin in the game, when you're not trying to build an admic army. That's the easy shit to look over because you're just kind
I
of
just-
skimming it over, looking for errors.
I just don't understand why part of their process isn't showing this to 10 other people who can be like, oh, you missed
But
this.
apparently
And
there are a
nerd.
bunch of people playtesting it. But they're playtesting. I don't think they're actually getting a codex to playtest it.
No, they're not getting a printed.
So
What
when
did they
they're
get? It's
getting
codex.
So how did they
Nine
so
page
when they
printer.
write these codexes? How does it work?
so they must have an editor. But
They must have an editor,
But
but
then-
I think the editor's probably not like a rules writer, right? So they don't necessarily check the thing.
probably not.
Well, you'd hope the editor at least plays the fucking game, right?
Well, obviously,
Not necessarily.
maybe they just get one of those things that you get like on like Wish. And it's just like, I don't know.
Wish and editor,
No,
yeah.
not Wish, but like, you know, a
was gonna
YouTube,
say, if it's
a
something off
YouTube
Wish,
advert
It's on
being
Fiverr.
like,
They just
Fiverr.
find someone Fiverr
Yeah.
and be like, hey, can you check this? Make sure there's no spelling mistakes.
language check.
Well, yeah, 0 point gun is not a spelling mistake.
But that makes
yeah, exactly. Like,
Exactly.
who's
Like-
going to pick it out? Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The story thing makes sense to me though, right? Because otherwise, we had this talk in a previous episode. Again, if your ballistic skills go up and your bravery goes up, then it kind of
You're
would be
at an
unfair
advantage,
if
yeah.
a new guy came into it and was just like, hello,
So, wouldn't you
Hello,
rather
I'm you.
that your 2-up ballistic skill squad
Just
cost an extra 25 points?
Yeah. Because then you can adjust
Because
your
that's
army.
essentially what they've done. They've just gone about it in like the most
Yeah, as opposed to making
Yeah,
it cost
confusing and
more. they've
difficult
made
way.
it-
You gotta look up a chart to figure out how much more you've got, and then the other
Because
person
when
has
you
to build an
bring
army
your
that's got
army-
more points equal to the chart that you've like.
Because if you go into
Oh,
your,
I'm gonna
okay,
have a
okay,
seizure.
yeah, sorry.
if you go into
Yeah,
a
okay,
friendly
now I get
local
you
gaming
now.
store with your conquest army, it's 2,000 points no matter
Crusades.
what. Crusades or Crusade army.
And you know what your 2,000 points is.
Exactly. You know exactly what. It's not when you get there like, oh, if I play
strike
him,
one.
I need to drop these 3 scouts.
That's
If I
like-
play her, I need to drop these marines.
This 10-man squad needs to go down to a 7.
Exactly. Oh, but if I play them, I get to bring in more guys.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
It just sounds like a lot of words to me now.
It really is.
It is.
And that's the problem.
It's
yeah.
overly complicated.
And
Yeah.
And the worst thing about 40k, the worst aspects of it is when there's too much bookkeeping.
Yeah.
but
Gets in the way
that's
of
what
the
they're
fun, right?
Yeah.
that's what they're doing. They're clearly choosing 2 fronts, though, right? They're doing one for the tawny people, and they're doing
Yeah.
one for the story people.
Yeah,
And
they really are
which is
dividing.
cool.
You won't
Because,
see those
Yeah.
Crusade armies turning up at tournaments.
No, you won't.
But then you can have tawny people that have a story people army, and then they can maybe find little gaps in it, being like, well, okay, because it goes up in a certain percentage, if I just have regular bitch guardsmen, because they're cheaper naturally, but they get up skilled, it could end up being cheaper or something like that.
You're gonna do that math
Like,
every
checked up
game
my
before a
penis.
tournament? You play what, 6 games in a weekend?
Yeah.
Before every game, you have to.
I don't even play one.
And have the models to do it.
Do I have them on? Yeah,
But
yeah.
on the, there are things when you have a character wounded, they can be turned into a dreadnought. I think that's cool, but
I do like that idea.
that is dope. That is
So
very cool.
The story.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty great.
And is that a Primus?
Yeah, but you would.
Yeah,
but
primary.
bring
Do they have them now?
they do.
Okay, I didn't know that. I don't play
They're
Space
very
Marines, so I never knew that
It's
they
like
had that.
just
Wait.
charge for a bit of smaller one.
Oh, they're sleeker, aren't they? They're like kind of.
No, they're bigger. They have nappies as
They're
well.
like. Blah, 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 blah.
Wait, Primus Dreadnoughts.
Bigger.
Actual.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like,
You're not talking about the stealth suit with hands that has.
No,
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 the
no,
actual
no.
Dreadnought
The
one, the
actual Dreadnought.
Redemptor.
It's like
The
one of the-
Redemptor, what's it called?
Yeah, it's something like that. It was one of the first models that came out.
thought it
Yeah,
was
it came
taller.
out at the beginning.
Is it taller?
It's
Yes,
taller,
it's
it's
a lot
wider,
taller.
it's squatter. Well, it's not squatter,
but
but
I
it's doing
like-
squats.
So it's
like-
taller but squatter.
No, it's
Yeah.
doing squats.
Wider but taller.
Yeah. It's overall bigger.
Because I like the dreadnought chodiness.
It has
Like-
guns on its guns.
Yeah, they're not the big, like. This
Yeah.
is what I loved about
Yeah.
fucking Dreadnoughts.
Copyright strike.
Do you reckon if you got
But it's so
motion,
refreshing.
if you got
We're just rambling now.
Yeah.
if you got motion sickness, right? You got put in the dreadnought. Would your motion sickness carry across? Every day is a walking hell.
It is, though. It is a long day. Being a dreadnought sucks.
Severe PTSD. Just like,
Yeah.
go!
No, they're dreadnoughts. Being a dreadnought is horrible.
Yeah, there's nothing
it's
good
not
about it.
good. It hurts like a
Why is
motherfucker.
Ancient Bartholomew putting his Gatling gun at himself? I can't take it no more.
Don't go high enough.
He's like a T-Rex.
It's like they planned for this.
I can only shoot at you.
But yeah, it's like constant pain. You're never even sure where you are because you're jumping between like your memories the whole time. It's
Yeah.
like it's fucked.
Well, they
Being a
induce
dreadnought-
sleep most of the time.
Yeah, being a dreadnought would.
Unless they're having parades, in which case they come out in droves, eh?
Yeah, the price
They woke me up from my 1,000-year slumber.
Who am I killing? You are walking.
Presumably,
God.
presumably they'd have parade guys, so the guys' brains that they used that had, OCD and were very
Bill
clean.
was nice. Let's put him in a dreadnought.
Bill was
A
great.
raid dreadnought.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
never really that good.
Tom was
on
great
the,
in combat and very highly decorated, but he's quite dirty.
This
He
is
never
not
shaved.
armor. It's not armor, it's paper mache.
It's just basically they just get all the Air Force guys that are real tiny. Like,
If you look at
look
the
at
feet, it's
me.
a guy driving.
I'm
a full-
fabulous.
so fresh and so clean.
Yeah. Touch up the paintwork, you dirty whore.
Oh jeez. Sorry, we're not going to get to Admech.
I don't care. This is.
And who?
No, I'm really sorry,
what?
actually.
Is there anything else we were supposed to cover that we haven't? No,
No, not really.
Yeah. Jordan time.
Shut up, Nash.
I wasn't sure if you were still.
Yeah, we are.
We are. Maybe we're still live.
So,
We're going to cut
what's everyone working on at the moment?
Cutting everything.
I am still working on my sister's Repentia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which ones are the Repentiers?
They're the ones with the eviscerated chainswords.
Oh, who wear nothing but seals and parchment.
That's
No, that's the
terrible.
old one. The new ones, they wear clothes.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
There's a lot of people who are disappointed. I am personally not disappointed because they look like they're actually built to carry these swords.
Yeah, it's great.
They're absolutely jacked.
Yeah, I love the new beefy sisters. I think.
Yeah, I think they're really cool.
Beefy sisters.
They are.
We need to see some pictures of your baby sisters.
I will show you my sisters.
Gee, what's your Instagram handle, Alan? Plug.
I haven't got one yet.
Okay.
I will
Well,
get
when he
one.
gets one, we'll put it in the link below.
Yes.
Plug it. James, what are you about?
Currently, I've got a couple of models on the go because I just do bits and pieces at a time. I've got the Summony dude that came in that box set. I can't
With his
remember name.
Technicolor Dreamcoat?
Yeah, Technicolor Dreamcoat fella. Yeah.
what's
I've
his
got I've got the preacher
dude.
dude. The preacher guy who's preaching.
The chaplain, the Chaos chaplain, whose name I
Basically,
can't
yeah,
remember.
yeah.
either.
the only boy that could ever teach me.
Yeah, was the son of a preacher man. And
That's why we sit on each end of the
one of because if we were next to each other would distract the whole show, surely. And then
Not like that's happened
yeah.
already. It's fine.
blood crushers going on as well.
The engagement range is
Yeah.
long enough.
So last time we were trying to figure out what you were going to work on, right?
Yeah, so I'm
figuring
just
it out?
I mean, end of the day, I just like to do bits and pieces as I feel.
Motivated to.
What about
Yeah.
you? What are you working
I
on?
wanted recruits so I could contrast paint them, and I found a good score up in a disclosed location. Basically, it's up north, and it has
A lot of orcs living there.
yeah, a lot of orcs. Phonologically, not spelt like that though.
Yeah. What's an A? Yeah.
And I was really stoked because I found a deal, found a score, found 75 guys for $140. And they were all like, painted, but I would have to get rid of the flash because I don't like flash. And I was like, yeah, I'll take them. And he goes, sweet, when are you picking them up? And I was like, I don't live in
The land of orcs.
I don't live in the land of orcs. I live in the land of the Crusades.
Whoa. The land of Christ. The southern states. I mean,
Okay, I live in a shithole. So I come up and he goes, oh, post stuff. I've had. Basically, he couldn't be bothered. I was gutted, so because that's the next thing is my recruits. I want
that's
60
one
boys.
subscription you've just lost. It.
yeah, potentially. But
He's
again,
talking-
though, with the new rules of the buff of points,
Yeah.
recruits might not be worth it at all.
Yeah. We don't know.
Oh, yeah,
We don't know.
exactly.
I don't know.
Your
So,
armies are probably going to be like well over points.
So, I
So
might
if
have to-
anyone out there is selling a bulk load of guardsmen for cheap, Henry Cake is very interested.
No, that's not my name.
No, it's Henry.
How are they going to find you?
Yeah.
Tell them to you.
Especially more so if the flash is removed, because I hate removing flash.
If you've done all the work, he's
It's
happy to
literally
buy
the
them.
worst job.
If you've
in the
literally
world,
done
yeah.
like everything tabletop ready, and you just don't want them anymore, sell them to him.
Hours and hours of fun.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
terrible. But I'm sure everybody feels our pain.
Yeah, because he's
But-
already done it. He's just wanting to sell it on.
I, mean, I don't know how old is the orc kit now? The orc plastic kit.
Orc boys?
Oh, boys.
Orc.
Oh, not as old as Guardsman, but old.
Not as old as Guardsman, right? So does that mean that
I
the
don't
mold
think it's changed
lines...
from since when I was a wee lad.
No. Eldar also has some of the oldest plastic ranges. Like the Serpent is
Yeah.
super old.
Because
No,
it's
you
like-
keep bringing it up.
I do.
It's like the third
They are
time.
very old.
Keep bringing it up.
Well, they were what the first armies were Eldar and Marines and
The first plastic ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Eldar Orcs and... Was it the Necrons, the Warriors? Because they look old.
Guards were a little bit later because I wanted to do Guardsmen, but they only had metal, so I went, oh, okay, I went Catachan, and then I realised they're all topless, which is fine, doesn't make me feel uncomfortable, but I wanted Acadians, and instead I got these guys going like, yeah, and I was like, I don't want
Did it,
this.
you son of a bitch.
I don't have enough flesh paint to go around.
I can only paint so many of these before my dad started looking at me funny.
Yeah. Should I paint the areola? I don't think so. I should.
God.
They're all really, they're all
never-
wearing
I-
string singlets. It's fine.
I feel very weird about like
Topless men.
well, just even like painting like female models, and when you get to certain areas, I'm like, oh god, I guess I have to. Oh god. And yeah, what? I got hang-ups, Doug.
And should you
Man,
be
you need to explore your sexuality.
and should you be comfortable and should you be realistic? It's like, well, I'm getting to the crack. I would
Look,
shit
are you
myself in
okay?
that situation. I need some poo brown in there.
Yeah, all you guardsmen
Some
just
Devlin mud.
So, yeah. What's the terrain paint that's mud? In
Strickland Battle Mire.
when you like that on there on the crack. What
If you want to go realistic, you need to basically paint all the backs of them like they've been damp anyway, because half the time they're sitting down.
This is going off the rails real quick.
I
Alright, I think we're done.
Oh, he thinks we're done. How about you ask at the start of our show whether we're done or not?
Cheers. Happy drinks and
See you next Thursday.
next Thursday.
Minor conflict.